Hey, howdy, hey. How's everybody doing today? I just rhymed. Yes, welcome, uh, Valeria, and welcome, Jacob, and JV Productions. Live stream, please don't turn me into marketable pussies. Don't worry, I won't. Or it won't. And welcome, Bryson, and welcome, Daniel, and happy birthday. And yes, I have heard of the cartoon Neighbors from Hell, but I haven't seen an episode of it yet. Yes, welcome Dexter the Nostalgia Toonster. And yeah, this is my first live stream where I'm in the flesh. Yes, hiya. Okay, we got a decent amount of people here. Welcome to my first official live stream. What? Uh, I just made a goof up. Sorry. Welcome to my first official Q&A live stream. Uh, this is a great opportunity for you guys to know me better. Oh, welcome Norbert. Yeah, it's a great opportunity for you guys to know me better, my opinions and just myself and so forth. Well, I'm not gonna guarantee that I'll get into every single question, but I'll make the effort to answer as much as I could based on my time frame. And yes, Norbert, I'm wearing the same shirt that you have as well. And if any of you guys are interested in getting a shirt like this one, just head over to my online store, smilewithcomforts.ca. You can find it in the men's t-shirt section. If I designed the shirt myself, yes, I did. A lot of the cartoon characters that are on the products are designed by me. Uh, they're original characters like Mr. Smiley and the Grover guys, and also fan art like my SpongeBob fan art could be bought as a T-shirt on there. Yes, and I appreciate your feedback on it, Norbert. Okay, let's see what questions we got here. If I've seen the What a Cartoon Show, yes, I have. I've been a fan of it for over a decade. I'll admit, some of the sorts, specifically the ones that didn't become series, they have become, they are kind of hit or miss, but the ones that did become series, I understand why. Like, especially the Dexter's Laboratory pilots, they're awesome. And the Kurt's the Cowboy Dog one is awesome as well. And the Cow and Chicken one. And the Powerpuff Girls one. Well, I think the first one, Meet Fuzzy Wumpkins, is better than the one Crime 101, the one with the Amoeba Boys. And my favorite out of the sorts that didn't become a series is Larry and Steve, even though it is basically a Family Guy prototype. Okay, what other questions do we have? What is the best Hanna-Barbera TV show that I've seen besides Scooby-Doo? Well, I answered this question in a previous live stream, but I'm mostly a sucker for the Cartoon Network originals that Hanna-Barbera produced, like Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls, and Cow and Chicken and the What a Cartoon Show. But I wouldn't mind, when it comes to their classic stuff, I'd probably say The Flintstones is my favorite classic Hanna-Barbera cartoon, alongside Yogi Bear. Like those two, I would voluntarily check out when I'm in the mood. And the classic Scooby Doo is fine as well. What else do we have here? What's my opinion on Uncle Grandpa? Well, I said this in another live stream. It's okay. It has a nice art style, and whenever it's funny, it is decently funny. But otherwise, it's okay. It's not bad. It's not great. It's Uncle Grandpa. Okay, what else do we have here? If I've seen, oh yeah, cartoons as well. Oh yes, I have. Well, not as much as What a Cartoon, but still a decent amount of sorts from there. Uh, I've seen only the first two Fairly Odd Parents sorts. The first one and Where's the Wand? And I also saw the pilot to My Wife as a Teenage Robot, which was titled My Neighbor Was a Teenage Robot. And there was also a one-shot titled, what's it called? What's it called? Oh yeah, What is Funny, starring Swap T Pooch, who you may better remember as the dog who appears at the very beginning of the Rugrats movie. That's probably my favorite one-shot short from Oh Yeah cartoons. Like Swap T Pooch, he has a very appealing design, and I love whenever he says, "Is this funny? I don't know. I'm asking." Yeah, Oh Yeah cartoons is a slightly less decent uh what a cartoon show, but still good in its own right. Uh, if I like Space Jam or Looney Tunes back in action, I grew up with both of them. But if I were to pick one, I'll say Space Jam is the best. But I appreciate Looney Tunes back in action for being a little more faithful to how the Looney Tunes characters act. And speaking of Looney Tunes, I actually have the Golden Collection played in the background just for some ambience. Which do I prefer? Uh, Cool World or Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Well, I only saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I haven't seen Cool World yet, but from the reviews I saw of Cool World, it's yeah, Roger Rabbit a billion times more worth my time. Well, speaking of which, I have seen the sorts that were based on the movie on Disney Plus. Originally, the only way you could watch it if you were to go to the movie on Disney Plus and go into the extra section and find all three of the sorts. But otherwise, but actually, they actually made the sorts stand alone, which is cool on Disney Plus's part, for the sake of convenience. I saw the first two sorts so far, but I haven't seen Trail Mix Up yet. What's my opinion on JetX animation concept shows? Well, the only JetX show that I really remember watching is Kid vs. Cat, which is in the first place more first and foremost white TV original. I have some mixed feelings about it. When it's entertaining, it is entertaining, but the mean spiritedness could be a bit frustrating. Well, yeah, that's the one Kid versus. That's the one JetX show that I really remember. Thoughts on Hanna-Barbera's Waffle Olympics? Haven't seen it yet, but it looks decent. Okay, what else? Uh, do I like Doritos chips? Yes, I do. But you know, there are sometimes food. Uh, any opinions on Scoob? Uh, I haven't seen it yet, but from what I could tell, it seems to be pretty average. And and I said this before, but it doesn't really help that the original voice actors. Well, I shouldn't say original, but well, Frank Welker is the only real original member of the Scooby Doo cast. Everybody else are just the current official voice actors, but Yeah, it's a shame that they weren't recasted for the roles of Shaggy, Velma, Daphne, and Fred. But at least we have Frank as Scooby still. And if I've seen the trailer for Happy Halloween Scooby Doo, yes, I have. And I explained my excitement for that direct video movie in a previous live stream, mostly for the fact that Maxwell Adams is the director, making his directorial debut doing a movie. Well, he technically, wait, did he direct the Billy and Mandy movies? I think he might have directed Under Fist or Big Boogie Adventure, but I mean, this is the first like direct-to-video movie uh, that he's directing. It's not on theatrical levels, but it's something. Any favorite songs from the Blues Brothers? I haven't seen that movie yet. Any favorite episode of Steven Universe or Scooby Doo? Well, I haven't seen 2 months of Steven Universe to like um, yeah, I haven't seen 2 months of it to really yeah, I haven't seen 2 months of Steven Universe to say what my favorite episode is. But for Scooby Doo, well, firstly, my favorite incarnation is Mystery Inc., and I really enjoyed the episode. Well, the last two episodes of season one are perhaps the most intense, and I really like the crossover between Scooby and all of his clones from the 70s, like Jabberjaw and Captain Caveman and Speed Buggy. Is there any reason I decided to show my face for this particular live stream? Well, just as something different from just doing just a voice only appearance in a live stream. Sort of as a way of getting out of my comfort zone. And I do look forward to doing this again. Wait, no, talking in front of the camera, it requires some practice, and the more I do it, the more I could get better. If I ever cosplay as any cartoon character for a a comic book convention, actually I haven't, but the closest thing was wearing a sorcerer Mickey Mouse hat that I own. What kind of music do I like? I like R&B and hip hop and instrumental music, like chill out music, and I also like scores to movies and TV shows. Like I think The Rescuers Down Under particularly has an awesome soundtrack by Bruce Broughton. Who's my favorite voice celebrity? Hmm. You mean my favorite voice actor? Well, Mel Blanc, you can't go wrong with him. He's the brilliant voice of Bugs Bunny and so many others. Uh, but as far as women voice actors go, oh yeah, you do mention him, Dexter, Tom Kenny. He's my favorite currently living voice actor because of SpongeBob and also Gary and Dog and the Mayor of Townsville. And Frank Welker is really awesome too, for roles like Fred and Scooby and Boskov. Who do I think is funnier, Jim Carrey or Robin Williams? Hmm. I guess I guess Robin Williams I like a bit more, mostly for the genie. Uh, how do I plan my ideas for my animations? Well, basically, I would well, I have sort of an active imagination, so I would pretty much brainstorm or look at something that would spark an inspiration storm inside my brain. Basically absorbing eaten from your influences. Like if I just basic strategies of coming up with an idea. Oh, what else? Yeah. Who's my favorite voice actress? Cree Summer, Tara Strong, or Grey the Wild Griffin? Oh, I have. Oh, I love all of them, but I'd say Grey is the best. Uh, in terms of some of the characters he voiced. Like, I love Mandy and that scientist from Evil Concarde that I won't stop about. And Grey herself is a sweet person, from what I could tell. I would love to meet her someday. Uh, what's my favorite Scooby Doo movie or TV show? Well, I mentioned it earlier, but Mystery Inc. is the best. It's a popular opinion, but uh, I have to agree with that popular opinion. As for movies, I've always liked the alien invaders. I don't know, there's something kind of cute about Shaggy getting a love interest. Okay. Any favorite cartoon crossovers? I would say that's kind of hard, honestly. Well, just to name one. Technically, House of Mouse is a crossover with Mickey, his friends, and all of those famous Disney characters from their animated film catalog. But that was a really good show. It should be on Disney Plus soon. Yes, Major Dr. Gasway from Evil Concarde. She's probably a Grey's most underrated role, alongside Veronica from The Fairly Odd Parents, what's her name? Goo from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And also, more recently, I got into the Free Caballeros and Zandra. She became one of my new waifus. Grey did a great job as her as well. Okay. What's the scariest video game I've ever played? Well, firstly, I'm not really a video gamer. I mostly play online games on the internet or PC games, like on CD-ROMs. But I will share a memory about one Looney Tunes Flash game that scared me. It was one where Sylvester has to defeat these Tweety zombies, and whenever you lose, the Tweety zombies would just walk right up to a screen with Sylvester screaming off screen, and that would star me as a kid. Actually, it would disturb me, I say. Ever seen the website Newgrounds? Yes, I have. I have looked at the fan art that's on there. Some appropriate, some not so appropriate for a family audience. But and, and I might see one or two animations on there. But I am fully aware that Newgrounds was the hub for independent online animation before YouTube became much bigger than it. Okay. uh, if I heard you on Adosa Buckwheat's live streams. Oh yeah, I have, and it's great that you were able to communicate with one of your favorite YouTubers, Norbert. Like Adosa Buckwheat, he's a Canadian guy who uh, who pretty much rants and jokes about subject matter that's happening in the world, and he also does music reviews as well. He's not for everybody, but I personally think he's funny. My God, we have a lot of good questions here. Uh, if I've seen any shows from Xylam, oh, that French animation studio. Yes, I've seen Augie and the Cockroaches and what else? Zig and Sharko. Both of them are kind of average. I'll put them on as Netflix background noise. Who do I think is a better superhero, Dynamite or Steven Universe? Well, again, I'm not fully acquainted with Steven Universe to really judge, and I haven't seen an episode of Dynamite either, uh, except except for that crossover with Dexter's Laboratory, and a little bit of Scoob. Well, not the movie itself, but the trailers and whatever clips and reviews I saw of it. Okay. Well, there's a good question that I'm scrolling back to see. Who's just within life acts? Who's my animation mentor? Well, I'll say Floyd Norman is a great is a would be a good mentor. Like this man worked alongside Walt Disney himself on stuff like The Jungle Book, and I do read his blog sometimes, and he's offers some really inspirational advice and life stories during his career at Disney. The man is amazing. You should check out his documentary, Floyd Norman, An Animated Life, whenever you can. Any favorite Cartoon Network show? I'll say Dexter's Laboratory is my favorite. I'll say that's the quintessential. Uh, for pretty much the same reasons as everybody else. I love the characters and the humor is really good and the animation style is pretty darn influential, particularly with my own cartoons like the Grover guys. Whenever you see an awkward moment of silence or whenever a character would slowly slide into frame, accompanied by that violin slide sound effect, that's inspired by Dexter. Okay, what else? And what's TV channel I prefer? Well, in terms of what shows they made, I'll say Nickelodeon, because of SpongeBob and the Fairly Odd Parents being such quintessential Nicktoons in my opinion. They've always been a part of my childhood, and when I was younger, I was really into Nick Jr. shows like Blue's Clues as well, and Little Bear. Like, if you were a child and you grew up with that show, then thumbs up to you. But I'm Canadian, so our Nickelodeon for a long time was YTV, and our Cartoon Network for a long time was Teletoon, and for Disney Channel we had Family, and Treehouse. It was kind of its own thing. It was before the Nick Jr. Channel was launched. But yeah, those were the four big kids channels during my childhood. Okay. Let me see if there's any questions I missed. Uh, would I wish to see a Wild House and SpongeBob crossover? Hmm, I'm not sure how that would work. Except probably they will have Patchy be in cartoon form in the Wild House style, like how he made a cameo appearance in Big Time Rush of all shows. Because the thing is, SpongeBob and his friends, they would have to they would have to appear like you have to remember that the Wild House and SpongeBob are two different cartoons, two different tones. Like Wild House is more down to earth and SpongeBob is more wacky and it's kind of hard to explain in just one sentence. But it might work, it might not work. But hey, if they're able to do those crossover bumpers during Nickelodeon's golden age, like those Christmas bumpers, then they might be able to figure out something. A video of mine that I'm most proud of. Well, Norbert, that answer changes the more I improve my craft. But I'll say for now, I'm really happy with how Classic Logo Remake Party 4 turned out. Uh, with how uh, one almost 100% accurate the logos turned out. Um, like the Cartoon Network one and the Teletoon one. Yeah, so if you ever wanted to meet Frank Welker at a comic book convention, how do you feel next to him? Well, I'll be super excited and slightly nervous because I'll be standing standing right next to or in front of uh, one of uh, one of the voice acting legends, and for sure I will tell him how much I love characters like Boskov and also Joanna from The Rescuers Down Under. Those are two of his most underrated roles. And who else? Oh yeah, I'll also mention how the Cave of Wonders from Aladdin was. It gave me nightmares. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The Cave of Wonders gave me nightmares. Any favorite movies? I'll say Toy Story is my favorite animated movie. Oh, and yeah, Valeria asked me what's my favorite Pixar movie. And again, it's Toy Story. It's really funny and really memorable, and it's also very quotable as well. The CGI is outdated in some respects, but everything that's really good about it easily oversells that. Welcome, Maxi Ruby, Fanatic. Yes, that was one of the best lines in the movie. You are a toy! You're not the real Buzz Lightyear, you're an action figure! You are a child's plaything! Yeah. Okay, let's see what else. Which Nickelodeon cartoon is better? SpongeBob or Danny Phantom? SpongeBob easily. With Danny Phantom, it's my third favorite Butch Hartman show after Fairly Odd Parents and Tough Puppy. Yeah, it's such an unpopular opinion to say that Tough Puppy is better than Danny Phantom. Well, I haven't seen too much of the show, but what I have seen, it's simply good. For sure, the best villain is the Box Ghost. Beware, beware of the Box Ghost. uh, any favorite Pixar movies that aren't Toy Story? Um, yes, Inside Out. I've been a fan of it. Even before I got to see it, I knew that it would be something particularly special. Uh, I love how colorful it is and just everything. A great experience watching it in the theater. I also like Monsters Inc. and Monsters University as well. And Coco's really good too. Yes, welcome, Core Horse 10. And yes, this is my first live stream in which I'm in the flesh. Have I seen Scooby Doo and Guess Who? Nope, I haven't seen it yet, but I haven't seen a full episode of it yet, but it does look funny how it's a spiritual successor to the new Scooby Doo movies. We get in this series we get celebrities like Whoopi Goldberg and Ricky Gervais and also even fictional characters like Batman and who else? Steve Urkel. Uh, Steve Urkel was one of the go-to '90s characters. Uh, if I know Wormy the Barfly, oh yes, from that SpongeBob episode. Honestly, Wormy doesn't terrify me. Okay, what else? What are my thoughts on the Scooby Doo team up comic? I haven't read it yet, but I know there's one based on Space Ghost, and Moltar and Zorak appear in it. Um, of course, they were two of the best characters on Space Ghost Coast to Coast. So I would like to pick that up. If I stumble upon it at a comic book store, it looks interesting. Uh, have I played cards? Have I played Cards Against Humanity? Nope, I haven't. I have little familiarity with it. Sorry. Okay, Uh, I'm gonna answer a couple more questions before I wrap up. Bryson asks, "What are your worst and most hated cartoon characters I dislike?" Oh boy, Dodie Bishop from As Told by Ginger. For 6 years now, well, almost 6 years. She's been a character who has gone on my nerves for pretty much the reasons why everybody else hates her. Uh, she's an unfaithful friend who backstabs Ginger, and she cares about herself. She's manipulative, and although my hatred for her has toned down, primarily because either I'm just maturing as a person or I don't watch As Told by Ginger as often as I used to. Although I still rewatch it since it's gonna be 20 years old. Like, oh, just to quickly ask, what would you guys like me to do for As Told by Ginger's 20th anniversary? You want me to review the episode Hello Stranger, or should I finish? Should I conclude the cliffhanger to my YouTube poop that I made 4 years ago? Let me know. I should probably do that as a poll as well. Oh, a montage of As Told by Ginger. I might consider that. What obscure Hanna-Barbera TV show or movie I've seen before? Well, I should really talk about Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. Not that it's a really good show, but it's sort of an important one. Like, it kind of bugs me how people say that The Simpsons was the very first primetime animated sitcom since the cancellation of The Flintstones. And actually, it isn't. It was Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, which could best be described as F is for Family if it was actually made in the 70s and it was rated PG. Or you could compare it to All in the Family as well. Uh, it's pretty boring, but I respect it for being, one of the pioneers of adult cartoons on TV. What are my thoughts on Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles? I haven't seen it yet, although I still mentioned the fun fact about the Impossibles originally going to be named the Incredibles. Obviously, Brad Bird would call dibs on that name many decades later. Oh, if I watched the uh, Channel Chasers, yes, I have. Uh, it's my second favorite Fairly Odd Parents TV movie. I think technically it's my favorite episode in general, next to Abracatastrophe. And I do agree with a lot of people how it's still been the official finale to the show, even though I don't mind Poof that much in season 6. What else? Wait Till Your Father Gets Home has the same animation style as Hong Kong Phooey. Yes, I know, and I learned that Rosemary from Hong Kong Phooey was designed by the same guy as the characters in Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. I think it was a Playboy cartoonist. Have I seen Glitz Text yet? Yeah, I think I mentioned that I have seen it already when you and I were on the live stream together, Norbert. I saw it on Netflix and I think it's pretty good. Easily better than Fanboy and Chum Chum. But again, I might wind up towards Fanboy and Chum Chum someday. If I have HBO Max, nope, because I'm in Canada. But I have seen some of the episodes of Looney Tunes cartoons that could be viewed on YouTube, legally, of course, and they're pretty darn gorgeous. I love them. If I have Hulu, nope, in Canada. If I know Wormy the barfly, yeah, I answered it already from the SpongeBob episode. It was a really good episode, by the way. Any thoughts on Hong Kong Phooey and the Scooby Doo clones from the 70s? I haven't seen the episode Hong Kong Phooey yet. And as for the Scooby Doo clones, the one that I watched the most is Captain Caveman. He was mildly entertaining, especially whenever he screams, and I'm not gonna bother do an impression of that Captain Caveman scream. I swear I won't. You know, I think probably we could go on for at least 30 more minutes because you guys seem to be enjoying this, right? I'll answer some more questions if you'd like. Have I watched Super Mario Logan? Yes, I've been a fan of him for a ten for close to 10 years. Uh, but before him, a little before I watched him, I watched cute Mario Bros, which are these two guys who will play with toys of Mario and Luigi having adventures. What else? Okay. Uh, which is better, Inspector Gadget or Scooby Doo? I'll say Scooby Doo, but Inspector Gadget's pretty good too, especially like the voice acting with oh, what was that noise? Oh, it's probably a notification. I thought I had airplane mode on. It's probably an email notification or something. Favorite cereal? Quite a few. Frosted Flakes and um, Honey Nut Cheerios. And what else? I like the granola cereal as well, especially when they have dark chocolate in it. Do I prefer hamburgers or tacos? Yes, cinnamon toast crunch. It's awesome. It's an awesome cereal. Yeah. Hamburgers or tacos? I'll say hamburgers. And Coral Horse asks if I prefer pizza or burgers. I'll say pizza. Pizza's my favorite sort of junk food fast food treat. Pizza or s'mores? Excuse me. Uh, Pizza still. Cheese pizza is my favorite. Wouldn't mind a meaty pizza as well. I haven't had a s'more yet. Well, the closest thing to s'mores that I have is uh is the Ritz Bits sandwiches that are s'mores flavored, and ice cream or s'mores. Ice cream. Chocolate ice cream is my favorite. Any favorite Mario characters? Well, I haven't played any of the official games other than the ones that I could play online, but hmm, probably I'll say, hmm, let me think. For now, I'll say either Mario, either Mario himself or probably Toad, from based on his portrayal, at least based on his portrayal in the Super Mario World videos. He's pretty darn funny. Have I watched Pinko Swords on Afro Ninja 360's channel? Nope, I haven't heard of it before. Okay, hang on, guys, as I take a drink. I'm glad you're enjoying this Q&A, guys, so far. But soon we have to wrap up. Thank you so far for the questions. While am I drinking, Norbert? Just some almond milk. It's a good, healthy alternative to regular milk. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. If I watched the Fairy Odd Parents episode Spellementary School, yes, I have. It's okay. I know it's supposed to be a spin-off of the Fairy Odd Parents, focusing on Poof and Foop going to this fairy kindergarten type of school. Uh, Not much I can say about it. It's decent. Actually, it's kind of forgettable. Well, I think yeah, it's forgettable. I was I was going to describe it, but I was confusing it for another episode. The Fairy Odd Parents had a marathon on Nicktoons Network. That's cool. I know it was one of the last shows. It was one of the shows that got the infamous Nicktoons Network death treatment. Basically, it's when if a Nicktoon doesn't do well on the main Nickelodeon channel, they just dump the rest of the episodes over to their sister channel Nicktoons, which has less subscribers, and from there, the show would be kind of inevitably canceled. They've been doing this since as early as 2004 with As Told by Ginger. What else? Yeah. So, oh yeah, I know. With Welcome to the Wayne, it got particularly bad. And my thoughts on that. So, it's pretty good. Uh, I don't agree that it's Gravity Falls ripoff. It's great in its own right. What it does this uh as this mystery adventure series with these three kids exploring this big mysterious hotel. Truthfully, I haven't seen all of the episodes yet. I'm still pretty early into season one. Who's my favorite Scooby Doo character? I will say Scooby himself, and actually both Scooby and Saggy. They're both pretty charming with their respective respective personalities and speech impediments. Like Saggy's always saying like as a verbal tick, and Scooby, he pronounces his words with R's. Although I noticed that in Mystery Incorporated, his grammar becomes a bit more, well, maybe not his grammar, but his vocabulary becomes more expanded, for lack of a better word. Favorite Looney Tunes characters? Bugs Bunny for sure. In fact, right now on the TV is Hair Devil Hair, which is the first appearance of Marvin the Martian. That was a really good story. What more can I say about Bugs? I love him for the same reasons as everybody else, and I really love Daffy as well. To be honest, most of the main Looney Tunes characters I love, uh, though I'm not too crazy about Speedy Gonzales, but he's alright, but not too crazy about him. Let's see. Little Shop of Horrors or Ghostbusters. I haven't seen Little Shop of Horrors yet. As for Ghostbusters, I only saw a little bit of the original 1984 film. I got I got more exposure to the cartoon, the real Ghostbusters. Which, by the way, it was named the real Ghostbusters to avoid confusion with Phil Mason's Ghostbusters TV show, which was these two guys and a gorilla. It was originally live action before they made a cartoon out of that, and that was what caused Sony to name their Ghostbusters cartoon the real one. And the real Ghostbusters is pretty darn decent for an 80s cartoon. What are my thoughts on the Jetsons or the Flintstones? The Flintstones for sure. And regarding it, as much as I like the original series, I'll say my personal favorite incarnation of the Flintstones is the Flintstones on the Rocks. Uh, I'll say it's an underrated example of taking a classic property and giving it update while at the same time staying faithful to the original source material in several aspects. Like artistically, it's it wouldn't look too outplaced with the original 60s series. Excuse me. If you haven't seen the Flintstones on the Rocks, well, it's not available on DVD or streaming, even though I think it should, but it's pretty darn good, uh, I'll say. Okay. Thoughts on Garfield. The comic Garfield. I know some people dislike it because of how stale it is, but oh no, Garfield, he's pretty funny. especially especially these days he's become sort of the Shrek of comic book characters in terms of how many memes they made out of him. Oh, and Garfield and Friends is a good show as well, and the Garfield show and the Garfield TV specials. My favorite for sure is the Halloween one. What happened to Animator 320? Oh yeah, well, I don't think it's the right time or place to go into details on what happened, but well, basically, Animator 320 or Matthew Whittlemore, that's its real name. Basically, he got canceled off of social media because of some animation that he did of his characters. So for now, he's getting some professional help so that he won't be able to do that type of stuff again. And I hope that he really changes for the best. And if you don't know, Animator 320, he does he does animations, a web series called Tube Mania, and also and he was also one of my co-stars on the Grover Guys. He did Dee Dee, Dick Avery, and the Delivery Snail's voices. But after this controversy that's happened with Animator 320, I'll politely say that maybe casting Matthew uh, might not look like the best, greatest decision uh, in hindsight. Well, I hope Matthew does change his ways, uh, not doing those type of stuff anymore, because they would result into a backlash on his part. And that's all I can say on regarding that controversy. Angry Birds or Five Nights at Freddy's. I played neither, sorry, but I'd probably go with Angry Birds. It looks cuter, basically. And I saw the movie on Netflix. It has its funny moments, like when the giant eagle was pretty much peeing for almost 1 minute. The nostalgia critic or angry video game nerd. I will say the nostalgia critic. Angry video game nerd is good too. I've been a fan of the critic for since 2014. Thoughts on Scooby-Doo, Max of the Blue Falcon. Haven't seen it yet, but I've heard that that Zorak makes an appearance in it. I'll love to see that. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Zorak, you know, from Space Ghost, he makes a cameo in that Scooby-Doo movie, Mask of the Blue Falcon. Blue Falcon, sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong. Favorite PBS Kids shows of the 2000s era. Oh boy. Well, technically, Sesame Street and Arthur are my favorite PBS Kids shows. But as for shows that debuted in the 2000s rather than just continue on to the 2000s, I'll say, well, there's the stuff from the PBS Kids Bookworm Bunch, like Timothy Goes to School and George Shrinks and Corduroy Bear. And even though it's unofficially a part of the Bookworm Bunch, the Berenstain Bears, like all of those Nelvana stuff that that was made for PBS during that time. Sesame Street or The Muppet Show. Sesame Street for the win. I love the Muppet Show Muppets as well. Uh, Bear in the Big Blue House or Fraggle Rock. Fraggle Rock. I grew up with Bear in the Big Blue House a little more than Fraggle Rock. Uh, so I'll go with that. Though Fraggle Rock is decent, it's pretty good as well. But I have more nostalgia for Bear. I'm sure some of you guys do too as well. If I remember Tiny Toons Adventures, uh, I haven't seen a full episode of it yet. Although it's on my imaginary wish list, not wish list, watch list. Sorry, for a long time. It does look to be a really good show, but um, at the end of the day, I'm more of an Animaniacs guy. DVD collection that I like. Well, I'll say the best DVD that I currently own is is the Looney Tunes Golden Collection. I'm 50% done with collecting it so far, meaning I have the first three volumes, and of the three, I'll say probably the first one that's played in the background right now. Although there's a lot of great ones in the in the other two I have. Fetch with Rough Men or Cyber Chase. Fetch with Rough Men I remember enjoying more. Never been too crazy about Cyber Chase. Although, speaking of that show, I just found out the other night that okay, so if you guys heard of the show Birds with a Z, uh, you know, the main character, Eddie Storkowitz, and a Digit from Cyber Chase. I just realized that they kind of resemble each other, and that's because Wary Jacobs, who was the creator of Birds, he was a director on Cyber Chase. So that kind of blew my mind, and I was like, oh, okay, okay, that makes sense. No wonder Digit looks like Eddie Storkowitz. By the way, they're both birds who are purple and they look more like wizards than birds. Teen Titans, the original, or Teen Titans Go. I'll say this again, this is a controversial opinion, but Teen Titans Go. Uh, I got into it before I started to check out the original series, and therefore I grew to admire what Teen Titans Go had to offer in for its own merits. It's a colorful show, firstly, and it did make me laugh several times. Oh no, it's kind of harmless. Well, most of the time. I kind of think that the hatred for it is kind of overblown. I understand that the original series ended on a cliffhanger, and I guess it probably should resolve it, but I'm okay with Teen Titans Go. If I'm scared of the BND logo, honestly no, but in comparison to the S from Hell and the V of Doom, it's more understandable as to why anybody could be afraid of it, because you can't well expect it to be so sudden, like with the ball bouncing and then falling off of that black bar, and then suddenly the wild music, and then the creepy mask. But I'm not afraid of that logo at all. Trouble in Tokyo or the Powerpuff Girls movie. The Powerpuff Girls movie for sure. It's a great example of a of a movie based on a TV show where you don't have to watch the show in order to get into the film. But then again, that might be a cheat, and since the Powerpuff Girls movie is a backstory to how the girls became superheroes, how they were created, and how Mojo Jojo became a villain. although I'm not sure if it contradicts the events of the episode of the regular series that explains Mojo's origins. I think it's from the first season or so. If you guys remember the name of that episode, please let me know. Fizzy's One Swab or Astral Blast. I'm not familiar with Fizzy, but I know that Astral Blast was the very last show created. I think it's the very last show created by Soup to Nuts, which you know was the animation studio behind Word Girl, Home Movies, O'Grady, the Dr. Katz Professional Therapist, and some other stuff. Before they closed down in 2015. If I liked the 2009 Ed and Eddie movie, yeah, Big Picture Show was pretty good. Overall, I'm not too crazy about Ed and Eddie as everybody else, but I respect the Big Picture Show. With spoilers for those who haven't seen it, the cul-de-sac kids finally learned to respect the Eds when it turns out that Eddie's older brother is a bigger jerk than they ever were. Dinkelberg or Timmy's dad. Hmm. I'll admit Timmy's dad is funnier, but Dinkelberg has a better garden than him. I guess I don't know. Oh, and does anybody remember that episode where Timmy's dad tries to prove that Dinkelberg is evil, and then Dinkelberg starts acting like really evil before it's revealed at the end. Spoilers that that he was just messing with Mr. Turner, probably the teacher of Western or something. Uh, DuckTales or Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I've seen very little of both. Like, I know they were a slight part of my childhood. I remember seeing them on Family Channel, uh, which again is the Canadian equivalent to Disney Channel before we got an actual Canadian Disney Channel. But uh, I don't have too much to say on them, but well, they're on Disney Plus, so when I have time, I'll watch. Excuse me, I'll watch them back to back probably. But they both look at least solid. The Proud Family or We Will Stitch. The Proud Family for sure. It's one of those cartoons where you enjoyed it as a kid, but when you watch it when you're older, there's several other things that there are several things that you grow to appreciate um, that you didn't notice before, and I'm happy that's coming back to Disney Plus. It's almost 7. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna answer a couple more, and then we're gonna wrap up. Okay. Tex Avery or Chuck Jones. Chuck Jones for sure is my favorite Looney Tunes director for stuff like Duck Amuck and Fast and Furious, the first Roadrunner short, and quite many others. In fact, what's playing right now in the background is the short with Hubie and Birdie, uh, where they make Quad Cat think that he's really sick. Let's see, Butch Hartman or Maxwell Adams. Uh, I do like the Fairly Odd Parents more than either of Maxwell Adams' shows, but at least in terms of a person, I assume Maxwell is cooler. I don't know. Okay, now before I wrap up, I want to mention that one of my subscribers asked me a couple of questions in advance before the live stream started. So I'll just end it off answering those questions. Uh, First, he asked me if I've seen Naruto or My Hero Academia. I haven't seen My Hero Academia, but Naruto I have seen, and I mostly played it as background noise on Netflix, so it's it's decent. And he also asked me what are my favorite Nickelodeon shows and Cartoon Network shows, top 10. Um, uh, for Nickelodeon is for the Nicktoons specifically, SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Ren and Stimpy, As Told by Ginger, Cat Dog, Tough Puppy, Wayside, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, and I guess Rocco's Modern Life. And that's for Cartoon Network. Dexter's Laboratory, Regular Show, a tie between the grim adventures of Billy and Mandy and Evil Concarde, the Powerpuff Girls, the original one by the way, Courage the Cowardly Dog, um, what else? Space Ghost Coast to Coast, uh, Cow and Chicken, Sheep in the Big City, what else? The Amazing World of Gumball, and I, I think the what a cartoon show, and yeah, and he also asked me who are my top 10 waifus. Oh boy. Well, I'm not gonna name 10 exactly, but I'll just name just a few off the top of my head. Well, some of you may know that Major Dr. Gasly is my number one waifu, but there's also, hang on a second. There's also Dexter's mom, and also there's also Trudy from the Proud Family, and Sunset as well, who's Wasianaga's mother. Who else? There's Maddie Fenton, and Wilma Flintstone's pretty cute as well, and also who else? And Belle and Tiana are my picks for favorite Disney princesses, and there's also Zandra from the Three Caballeros. Uh, okay, okay, I'll answer one more, just one more question, then we'll wrap up. Thank you guys for your time well spent thus far. I mean, what scared me as a kid? Um, well, one of my childhood fears is the Cave of Wonders from Aladdin. Uh, okay, originally I wasn't that afraid of it, but it was when I was on Disney's website and I was watching the trailer their for the Platinum Edition of Aladdin, and then I saw the part where it's a close up of the cave's eyes, and it was saying "proceed." I'm not gonna bother to do the impression of the cave's voice because, well, maybe I could. Yeah, I was like, what? No. But yeah, the Cave of Wonders, as I mentioned earlier, was my childhood fear for a long time. But I have grown to be less afraid of it. Uh, and in fact, I'll say that the animation on it, the CGI, is one of the most interesting parts of it. Uh, one of the most interesting parts of the film. Yeah. Okay. But before we wrap up, I just wanna show you something that this I got the other day. Like whenever you're feeling anxious, it's good to have one of these squeezy things in your hand. He looks like a combination of Mike Wazowski and I'll say Shrek, but I think he looks more like Yoda with the ears. Yeah, I've been playing with this and this really this really nice almost plasticine kind of stress ball the whole time as well. Okay, okay, okay. I'm glad you enjoyed the Q and A. I'm glad you enjoyed the Q and A. Core Horse. Uh, okay, fine. I'll answer one more. if there's any plans for a Classic Logo remake party in the future. No details on it, but I would like to do another one very, very soon. But in the meantime, you can look forward to a new logo related video. No details yet, but it's it's gonna be me just talking about a specific type of logo. Look forward to that. And yes, you could react to a future Classic Logo remake party, Max and Ruby Fanatic. And once again, thank you for reacting to the last one I did. Okay, so you guys asked me some really good questions, and it's been a good time answering all of them for you. Well, maybe not all of them, but a great amount of them. And thank you for being a great audience. Thank you for being a great audience and for those awesome questions. And I do hope to do another one soon. And I'm actually close to 2,000 subscribers. I might do one for that occasion. So and in the meantime, look forward to the other videos and live streams that I'm I'm brainstorming and planning. Thank you guys for your time well spent. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for just being a great audience and great subscribers. And yes, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everybody else. Um, this has been a good official Q&A session. I look forward to doing it again soon. Take care, everybody.